I'll do a little walk around video here. I'll show you any of the flaws that I might be aware of on the plane. There's very few of them, but start at the bottom of the fuselage. Here's your latch release for your canopy, but you can see there's nothing wrong with the gear door. No flat spots on the wheel, and it's still pretty fresh, has all the tread. I don't know if you can see this here. This was a manufacturing deal, wasn't me. It's on the bottom of the fuse. I wasn't really concerned about it. Let's see, here's the fuel tank vent. I believe I have the plug for that, which I would obviously include. Here's the locking polarized connectors that I made for it. They're a little short. I made them on a guesstimate while I was at work, and I thought 13 inches was going to be plenty. Kind of wish it would have been 14, but it's still pretty doable, and it's way more convenient than connecting 6 or 7 connectors. So fuel tank installation. This is the vent line. I kind of did the, iMac aerobatic plane type deal where you wrap the vent all the way around the back so it doesn't want to come out on down lines and stuff like that. Not sure it was really necessary, but it's just the way I've always done it. So turbine install, nice clean and compressor blades, no problems there. Engine is perfectly centered. NACA ducts, I had to cut those. Those are just to help the jet pipe cool a little bit. And then here's your stab install. It's pretty simple, just a couple connectors here that are marked left and right, and then so was the stab marked left and right. You can see there. You just connect them. I put those little connector locks on it, bolt it down, and you're done. Take a look down the tailpipe. See, the turbine is pretty much perfectly centered. No problems there. Let's see. That's pretty much it for the bottom of it. Let me pause this and get it turned over, and we'll take a look at the top. Okay, top of the fuse. Start off with the canopy. I don't know if you can see that little blurry spot right where my finger is there. I don't know if that's something I can get out or if it's a problem. I just noticed it. I'm pretty sure it's on the outside of the canopy and could be buffed away if you wanted. I did do a little tint job on the canopy with that Tamiya paint, because I like a little bit of shape to the canopy instead of just pure clear. If you're interested in the cockpit stuff, I have it. I just didn't bother. I didn't bother with building it up. I didn't want to add the weight. This thing's only 21.5 pounds. It's about one of the lightest ultra flashes I'm aware of. But here's the interior install. Pulse 3S. I think it's like a 3300. It was bought new for this build. I'm actually just holding it in with that dual lock 3M stuff. It's pretty rock solid. I mean, I've done some pretty decent negative G stuff, and they don't even think about coming out. This is the landing gear connector here. Let's see. So what I did is I took one of the servo leads and made it power port for the landing gear. So I basically only have to run 2 batteries for the entire servo system and the gear. Since you're running electronics, you may end up wanting to run a 3rd battery. There are people that are concerned with, a power loss if like a servo binds up and pulls power from your receiver. But with a power safe receiver like the one I have in here, I don't have to worry about that. All my jets have been flown this way, and they're fine. No, I don't have any connectors. Probably not a big concern for you. You may end up just replacing these batteries entirely. As a matter of fact, I have one Jetty lithium ion pack that I can that's brand new that I can throw in if you just want to buy a second one, or 2 or 3 of them, and figure out how to install them in here. The turbine ECU is actually under this cover. It's pretty easy to get to, but you really shouldn't need to get to it. If you want to use the ground service unit for startup, that's the connector right there. You would plug right into it. This is your Zycoy gear controller. It's got the gyro stabilization for braking and steering, really helpful. I upgraded the air trap to the Interco air trap. Use them on whatever I can because I love them. No problems with it. This is your means of refueling. Pull this out, pull a little connector out. When you're done fueling, shove it back in that little hole. A couple little wood blocks here to keep the tank from wanting to slide forward, because it has to be slid back just enough to get the canopy to latch in there. As far as any other flaws on the fuselage, it's dusty, but it's pretty clean. I mean, as far as the whole paint finish and everything. The Ultra Flash decal is a decal, and actually it was shipped to me without this decal, so I had to install them myself. And I had to design them and install them myself, but they came out fine. I'm using a titanium turnbuckle for the control linkage. They gave us some pieces of threaded rod and some brass tubing or something, and I just thought it was kind of hokey, so all the control surfaces you'll see I kind of made my own setup with. Small little flaw here. I don't know if you can see it. It's I kind of covered it with this MKS sticker, and it does a pretty good job of covering it, but the servo arm was hitting on this cover because it's the way they molded it didn't match the airfoil shape of the rudder, and I had to heat it up to get it to fit, and when it did, it actually melted it a little bit, and so I just did that to kind of cover it up. But that's about it for that. And then over here, same thing. I'm not seeing any flaws or nothing. Pretty solid unit. I think I only have, gosh, 10 or 15 flights on this thing. Okay, I'm gonna put this down, and then I will grab the wing. Okay, the wing, pretty much flawless. I would say the only thing is, you can see these little angle cuts in the gear skirt. I ended up doing that at the field, just with like a pair of snips or whatever, because I thought I was having problems with phantom braking. I'd be taxiing along, and all of a sudden it'd hang hard left or whatever, and it turned out it was because the springs in the struts were so weak that it was bottoming out and hitting the skirt and acting like a brake, basically. So the struts I rebuilt with their next size up stiffer spring, and now it doesn't touch these, but you know, still I cut them just in case when you go to land, if you make a hard landing or whatever, you know, it won't want to phantom brake on you. That was a little bit exciting sometimes at takeoff. Flap, gear cover, same thing here. I used turnbuckles and the Dubro heavy duty locking clevis there and all that junk. Leading edge on the right wing. That's all that stuff there is just bugs from 220 mile an hour passes. Looks like there might be a little scuff there, and that might have been from that one time I did that kind of high alpha landing. I honestly never even bothered to mess with it. I'm sure it could probably just be buffed out, but it's the bottom of the wing and I never really cared. Keep walking around. Nothing there. Same thing. All this stuff is all hooked up. The gear is also freshly, at least the main gear, they're freshly lubed, and the screw drives are all freshly lubed. See that mark there? That's just a bug. I just haven't cleaned it yet. And so that's it for the bottom. Let's see what I can do to get this thing flipped over. Okay. A sticker, a piece of tape. I'll have to clean the adhesive off of that. That was from when I had it listed for sale for a higher price a while back. As far as the top of the wing's concerned, flawless. Let's see that there. That's another bug. This thing likes to kill bugs. These scrapes here are just where the fuselage mounts, so you never see it when it's assembled. Just held on with 2 bolts right here. Does a good job, no problems. View of the flap there. Same thing here. So, again. And there you go. And this is what I did here for the locking connectors. They're kind of glued in there. So all you got to do is push them in. You don't have to sit there with two hands and try to connect them. You know, you just shove one into the left side, one to the right side, and you're done. Also, I believe on the connectors going into the receiver, everything is labeled like left rudder, left aileron, right rudder, right aileron, all that kind of stuff, and left gear, left flap, all that stuff. So let me grab the stab here real quick. I think I showed you that already. And then the other flaw on the stab is what I had told you from that kind of high alpha landing. It's just scrapes, and I ended up kind of fixing it with just a black marker so you can't see it from a distance. Right now it actually looks more revealing because of the lighting of the camera, but without the camera you almost can't tell, like in just regular daylight. Same thing here, heavy duty connectors or you know, clevises and stuff. Basic install. The servos are MKS 1250s, I believe. All around except for on the rudder, it's the HBL 555 or something like that. It's a high torque servo. But so yeah, that's it. I'll get this thing loaded up and you can take a look at it.